Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and it's time for some wild, rampant speculation now that, well, the half, I guess, of the Ixalan storyline is out there. Now, I guess, spoiler alert, although these are speculations, I'm just really sure that they're accurate, so spoiler alert anyway. Oh, and obviously Chapter 7 spoilers if you haven't, read that yet. So, what is going on Ixalan? How do people get there? Why can't the planeswalk out? Why does Bolas want the Immortal Sun? Let's answer it all. I have a grand unified theory, but let me lay out all the evidence first. And remember, that's just a theory. I'm not going to do it. By the way, did you guys see Matt Pat acting like a little baby on stream today? I mean, I know nobody in the right mind would watch it, but I was just curious to see how cringy it was. And it turns out, yes, he's cringy as hell live. And also, he has a borderline mental disorder about people, I don't know, chipping away at his gigantic ego. Seriously, they're doing just a silly blindfolded Cuphead challenge, and somebody makes a comment about how, like, oh, he's doing slightly worse than the other person, and he, like, rips off his microphone, takes off his wireless body pack, throws it, and, like, walks out. Like, he wasn't even making a joke as far as I know. He was serious. And then he came back and said, oh, you guys have been ripping on me all day and blah, blah. Like, he was mad. Like, what the hell? This guy's a raging psychopath. For real. There is something wrong with him. Like, there's can't take criticism, and then there's, like, mentally self-destruct and have a breakdown when somebody says you're not good at playing Cuphead blindfolded. Seriously. Somebody should check on him. He's not right. God help me if he sees this video. That'll be fun. He'll make a video series about how terrible I am and how great he is. Anyway, back to Ixalan theories. I think it's interesting that there is a Minotaur on the plane, because I believe they said something to the effect of he's the only one there, and every time somebody comes across him, they're like, what creature is this? I've never seen something like that. Now, Minotaurs are on a whole bunch of different planes, but we do know that they're on Ravnica. So how does Ravnica tie into, like, all of this? And I mean that. It ties into all of this. Well, thanks for asking. The number one piece of evidence is that when people try to planeswalk out, the Azorius guild symbol shows above their head and prevents them from planeswalking out. So, it could be, oh, false flag, oh my god, they're just making it look like Azorius, or that kind of seems like something Azorius would do. Now, I dug into it, and the original guild pact, according to the wiki, because I sure as hell didn't play Magic back then, but according to the wiki, the original guild pact had some kind of, if you're not familiar, the guild pact was like some kind of piece of paper that all the guilds signed in blood or something, and then it became like a massive like spell / I assume artifact / scroll / whatever, and it like enforced the law magically with everything that they like wrote on it or something like that. So that's kind of cool, and it actually worked between planes. I mean, this was like some serious magic, and Azorius and like law magic, like that's their crap. Well, the first guild pact made it either illegal or impossible. It wasn't terribly clear, but let's go with impossible to planeswalk into the city of Ravnica. Think about that for a second. The Azorius guild, who created the first guild pact, added a clause that was enforceable that prevented people from planeswalking in, allegedly, the way I understand it. So that's proof that they have that kind of magic, and then, hello, the triangle, circle, Azorius symbol. I mean, you can see it on that one card that Jace is in. Wow, that's specific. But yeah, that's clear as day the guild symbol. So we know that they, somehow, it's their magic that's involved in not letting people planeswalk out. So I thought, okay, is this some kind of like, Ixalan is like, what would you call it, a prison plane? And by the way, Ixalan is not the name of the plane, it's the name of the continent. We actually don't know the name of the plane. And I had a conspiracy theory that it's going to be like some Planet of the Apes crap where it's like, oh my god, we were on Earth the whole time. And they're like, oh my god, we're on Ravnica the whole time. No, I feel like when Vraska was instructed on what plane to planeswalk to, first of all, she wouldn't technically have to leave if it was Ravnica. I feel like she'd notice. But also, like, if it was one that she was familiar with, that might have come up somewhere in the story, maybe? So yeah, I think it is a brand new place, but I think that Azorius is trying to trap people there. So you gotta think, well, why? And they love detaining people and throwing them in prison, so prison plane. I want to say planet, so I'm just going to prison planet. The planes are basically planets anyway. I don't think that they're actual like dimensional shifts or some kind of weird thing. They're just planets. That's a whole different theory though. So then we've got the completely contradictory evidence from the merfolk about the Immortal Sun. So first of all, let's talk about this. Now, they clearly blatantly said that nobody knows if any of the rumors are true about what it can do. You know, the power level of whatever artifact or whatever this is not proven. It's all myth and conjecture, and nobody knows. But there's two things we do know. It is held in the city of Orazca, pretty much right next to the source of the You Can't Planeswalk Out suppression field. So, maybe the artifact has something to do with Azorius. And then the second interesting thing is Orazca doesn't seem to have been built by anybody on the plane, because the merfolk were there first, and this is another key point. The merfolk were there first according to their own lore, and then the pirates showed up, and then, like, the vampires showed up, and then the Sun Empire showed up. So, how do people just show up? Now, the thing is, they kept saying they showed up to Ixalan, and I'm like, oh, the plane. No, that's back when we thought it was the name of the plane. It's the name of the continent. So they could have just simply been from another continent, and for some reason they left that continent and came to Ixalan. Otherwise, how do you take like 1,000 people and move them between planes? I have no idea, other than the planar bridge or whatever, but that wasn't a thing back then. So I could have sworn the merfolk said that they've been guarding it forever, for at least as long as Tishana's been alive, and she's old as hell. So that implies decades to maybe hundreds of years, maybe thousands, I don't know. And I could have sworn she said, like, the people before her guarded it too. I thought the exact line was like, we've guarded it since before any of the other humanoids stepped foot on Ixalan or something like that. But then you go to the vampire story, and before they were even vampires, they held the Immortal Sun in one of their temples, and then somebody tried to steal it. An angel, basically, from what it sounds like, swooped down, stole it from the guy who was trying to steal it, and then gave it to the merfolk to put in Orazca, or put it in Orazca and then told the merfolk about it and said, guard it, do not let anybody near it. Now, what else is from Ravnica? Well, angels. I don't remember which guild, maybe Orzhov, I don't know. But one of them had angels, I know that. Hell, it could have been Azorius for all I know. Who knows? So further possible evidence that Azorius was like heavily involved, or just Ravnica at all. But I mean, angels are on just about every plane. They're just called celestials, and they kind of come with the plane when the plane gets created. But I mean, somebody watching, well, the self-given title of the angel type person was the Last Guardian. So apparently there were more guardians, maybe, and then that's the last living one, and she was like, oh, I ain't gonna live much longer or something, so I'm going to hide this and leave the merfolk in charge. Cool. But it just implies that a race that isn't normally seen on this plane, which is angels, because, I mean, that's all we've heard of one. By the way, assuming that they meant it was an angel. I mean, that isn't 100% confirmed. But assuming that's what's going on, okay, that's like another outsider, but they're really, really concerned with the Immortal Sun, which makes me think that the Immortal Sun was brought there, and they word for word speculated that, / foreshadowed it, in Chapter 7. So the anti-planeswalking field is probably from somewhere else, from Azorius. Maybe the Immortal Sun came with it too. And then I thought, well, it's clear as day. Somehow this artifact, the Immortal Sun, was brought here from Ravnica, and then to keep anybody from stealing it and leaving, they put like an anti-planeswalking block on the entire plane. And then I'm thinking, well, the last person to do that, unless they set like a timer on it, I guess, would be trapped there. And then I thought, well, okay, Angrar, what the hell's his name? Angrath? You know, Minotaur guy. He's probably from Ravnica. I think he might have even like said that. So I think they tricked him into getting there, but I thought he stated like, oh, I've been stuck here for 2 years or something like that, which, I mean, if there's this long history about the Immortal Sun, the artifact, and changing hands and all that, did that all really happen in that few of years? I don't think so, so it doesn't quite add up. But maybe they hid it there, and then somebody tried to steal it, like maybe Angrath, I forgot his name, tried to steal it, and so they just dropped in an anti-planeswalking field and said, steal it all you want, you ain't getting out of here. So let's skip over to why is anybody here? Why is Orazca there? She's there because Bolas hired her to go steal the Immortal Sun. Now, why he can't just planeswalk in, blow apart the entire city, nuke whatever's like causing the anti-suppression planeswalky field thing, that's a technical term, by the way, and then just walk out with it, or fly out, planeswalk out. I don't know, maybe he thought he'd get stuck there. Who knows? I have no idea. So he thought send Orazca. I don't know, maybe they just wanted an idea for a set, and it's a thin premise. I mean, does that not sound the most plausible? So, okay, his goal, his end goal, this has been revealed, was to regain godlike powers and immortality, because when the mending occurred, starting on Dominaria and propagating, I think is the right term, to all the other planes, all the planeswalkers who were like ridiculously powerful and basically gods got dropped down to, yeah, you're just a planeswalker now. I mean, I think they could basically die of old age unless they make a deal with 3 demons or are a vampire or are a dragon. So, okay, his whole plan on Amonkhet was basically to trick them into making a giant army of undead 4/4s with blue armor. So that's part 1. Okay, like, why would he need that? It seems like, if anything, it would be a distraction while he goes somewhere else and does something else, like on Dominaria, like tries to undo the mending, which is the, pretty much the theory. So, okay, attack Dominaria with an army of undead while everybody's busy. He tries to undo the mending, and he's going to need some power to do that, because to undo the mending, like, multiverse-wide, you're going to need some batteries for that. Oh, look, the Immortal Sun. So I think that's why he needs it. That's why he told Vraska to go get it, because it's like, if he was thinking suddenly, oh, the only thing powerful enough to destroy me is that one artifact called the Immortal Sun over on Ixalan, let's not do anything about it for thousands of years, but just now I'm going to go get it, or send somebody to go get it. And would he even trust somebody who probably doesn't like him very much with it? I mean, obviously, he just needs it for part of his plan, and I don't know if it's powerful enough to destroy him or not. But then again, if it can undo the mending, it could probably take out a dragon. I mean, let's be honest. So it could be both, but I think he just needs it. And I think he's just going to use it as a giant magic battery to undo the mending. I mean, just simple as that. Whatever it is, I mean, we know he needs it, and that implies that it's powerful, and that's all we know. Now, the third piece of evidence about the Immortal Sun is the one card in Ixalan that from the get-go did not seem to fit, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Well, besides the Spires of Orazca, because clearly that didn't fit, but Star of Extinction, the 7 cost, which means high-powered, Star of Extinction red sorcery. Destroy target land, Star of Extinction deals 20 damage to each creature in each planeswalker. What? Useless card, absolutely full of flavor though, and oh, I get it, ha ha ha, dinosaurs in extinction. Oh look, it's a meteor from the sky, ha ha ha. I don't think they wasted a red mythic slot on like a joke. And so let's read the flavor text. Now this is interesting. This is a quote by Shaper Pashona. Don't know who that is. One of the 9 Shapers from the Merfolk clans, I guess. Gonna take a wild guess that he or she, let's just go with, let's see, Pashona, let's go with she, I don't know. So she must be some kind of psychic, mystic, whatever. And so she says, and I quote, "The visions haunt me. I see the end of the world brought on by the search for the Immortal Sun." Now the search for it, okay, more like acquiring it and using it, I would think. I think we could maybe make that assumption, because, star and then sun and maybe. Maybe it can call down meteors. I don't know. Maybe that's all it can do. It's a meteor super weapon targeter. I don't know. But yeah, they call it the end of the world. So if the Immortal Sun is powerful enough to cause the end of the world and destroy the entire plane, it's got some juice. So I think that's why Bolas wants it. And I think they're eventually going to use it against him and try to destroy him with it or something. Because, why not? I mean, remember, Jace is starting to get his memories back, like, all at once. So he's going to be like, oh, hi, Vraska. Oh, I wonder if you're literally for the 2nd time in a row working for Nicol Bolas. I think he hired her to assassinate somebody in the guilds. I don't remember. Either way, he's going to be like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I got to get out of here. I got to meet with the rest of the Gatewatch and figure something out. Oh, a giant super powerful artifact. That might come in handy, and he's just going to straight up steal it. I mean, that's my theory about, like, the short term, but long term, yeah, I think that's why Bolas wants it. It's just hyper powerful. Simple as that. Now, the thing is, if this vision is correct, somebody's going to accidentally light it off or something and start destroying the entire plane, and they're just going to have to, like, planeswalk out, which the only good merfolk is a dead merfolk, so I'm happy about that. The Sen Empire, way too obsessed with poetry. Forget them. Pirates, ooh, what a loss. And vampires, oh no. So yeah, nuke the plane. Oh gee, that's cold as ice. Yeah, damn right it is. I strongly dislike merfolk. If somebody wants to pull out the Immortal Sun and have a fish fry, go for it. Don't care. So I think the Minotaur guy, he has something to do with it, because remember, they gave him like 30 seconds of talking in chapter 2 and then like 30 seconds of talking in chapter 7 to make sure that he doesn't blurt out to Vraska, hey, I know why we're trapped here. I mean, he did say something like, the reason we can't planeswalk out is inside the Golden City. I need you to help me get in there so we can both leave. Oh, crap. No, he said that to Huatli. I got that wrong, but whatever. But he didn't explain any further, probably because Huatli is from there. I think he probably knows that just from what she's wearing. He did sense that she was a planeswalker because, well, she planeswalked right in front of him, or attempted to, but I think he probably knows that she is natively from that plane. So why would they have a chat about, oh, well, this is this, and I brought this, like, she wouldn't even know what he's talking about. So, like, I get that, and that's the only person he really talked to, I guess. So in Rivals, in the storyline, are we going to have him talk to Vraska, talk to Jace? Yeah, because, I mean, he's going to the city. It makes sense. He's coming in with Huatli, basically. So I think he's going to be the one spilling the beans about what's really going on, and I think he's going to do it not too far into it. I mean, maybe chapter 3 or something. So that should be pretty cool. I mean, everything about this is pretty exciting. I mean, I'm way into the storyline because I started, reading it from the beginning, I guess. I mean, like, Shadows was directly after and related to the events of, Zendikar, and then I don't know anything about Zendikar from the first time around. And then before that, I don't know crap about Theros, didn't really read the storyline, something about gods and stabbing each other with spears, I don't know. So it's like, okay, formation of the Gatewatch, okay, now we're doing this, fight Bolas, okay, now we're on Ixalan, like, I'm into it, I get it, I'm there from the beginning. So I hope we don't return to, like, Ravnica, like, return to Ravnica, what would they even call it at this point? But something here has to do with Ravnica, so maybe we'll see a person from Ravnica, maybe we'll get just interference on another plane from some planeswalker representative of Azorius. I don't know, but I don't think we're going back there. I think that would be a little much. I mean, it's kind of like Tamayo or whatever her name was. We didn't actually go to Kamigawa. She just came here from Kamigawa. Hey, who doesn't love a good Gistar cameo? So you guys kind of get where I'm going with this, but here's the grand central mega ultra mind-blowing maybe spoiler, okay? If you don't want to know, because this sounds like I'm getting pretty accurate here to me even, maybe don't watch past right about now, okay? 3, 2, 1, you had your chance. I think that the Immortal Sun is what's left of the original Guild Pact, because it wasn't just a spell, it was an item. Like, they signed it, it was in blood, I assume it was on a piece of paper or canvas. So it was destroyed when somebody negated it. It's kind of like a logic loop that destroyed it, I guess. Like, somebody broke a clause in it, which invalidated it, but this thing could work on multiple planes, okay? That's what caliber of magic we're working with here. Interplanar magic is no joke. I mean, remember the whole tugging on a string thing? Nicol Bolas teaching Vraska how to cast that spell? So the Guild Pact makes the Chain Veil look like crap. I mean, this thing is the most powerful artifact in existence as far as I've ever heard. I mean, the Chain Veil has, like, ghosts in it. Like, who gives a crap? Like, this interplanar law enforcement, that's, like, not even playing right now. It probably is playing on, like, Netflix. I feel like somebody had to have made that. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey. Anyway, I think it wasn't, like, destroyed. Now, by I think, I mean I have no idea. I did not read the Ravnica story. I think the first time around it was probably a book. So anybody who knows what's going on, when the first Guild Pact was destroyed, what happened to it? Did it just self-destruct? Was that what caused the explosion? Or did it just kind of break, and then they had to make a new one and they named him Jace or whatever? Shows what I know about the lore before M14, basically. So I think what was left over from the Guild Pact was just like wild, uncontrollable magic energy. So Azorius is like, okay, this has got to go. So somehow it got the name the Immortal Sun, probably because it's like glowing or something, I don't know. And they just sent it to Ixalan because random backwater plane. Okay, once again, not the name of the plane. I wish I knew what it was called, so we're just going to keep calling it Ixalan, even though it's not. So they sent it there, put up the anti-planeswalker shield, and that's that. And then it's like, how would Bolas know about it? Well, talk to some of his contacts in one of the 10 guilds or whatever, and they'd be like, yeah, we heard the Guild Pact still exists, and it's on Ixalan, and here's how it's protected. So I think that's what it is. That would perfectly explain, like, the origin of the Immortal Sun, who made it, how it's so powerful, and why it's there, and why there's a giant security field around it, we'll say. Well, plus the city, too. So I think Azorius, or just all the guilds together, they just built Orazca, and gave it some magical suppression crap to make it hard to find, and then locked down the plane. Now keep in mind, Jace is the living Guild Pact. I don't know if that's an honorary title or if there's some actual magic about law enforcement embedded in him. I have no idea. But maybe he would be the one who knows how to use the first Guild Pact because he's the second one. It all kind of comes together. Like, why did Jace end up on this plane from a storyline perspective? So I think that's where it all links together. I mean, it's an interesting theory. And of course, leave any kind of evidence, any details I left out, any additional anything down in the comment section. I think this comment section is going to be lit AF, as the kids say. Probably less geekily, but depends on the kid. Hey, speaking of kids, on Patreon next month, I'm planning on basically sending out a signed kid to every single patron. I did determine, though, that violated their rules, so I'm going to send out signed foil mythics and foil rares instead. I mean, honestly, I have like 500 envelopes that I don't know what to do with. I got them at some kind of liquidation thing, which is where I get all my crap. Like, seriously, I haven't bought something straight up retail from a store in like a long time. But hey, you know, a stamp, a couple flat top loaders I already have, and some cards that somehow didn't get buy listed. But a lot of them, it's not like, oh, it's a $3 card. No, it's like, this is from my personal collection. Like, I've got a foil Star of Extinction, and that's going out. I mean, if it's a sub $10 foil mythic, I just hang on to it because I think foil mythics are cool. But now I'm going to send them to you guys because I think you guys are cool if you support me on Patreon. So watch for that. I'll probably put it in the 5 and up tier because if it was like in the $1 or $2 tier, I think I would actually lose money still. And I will tell you right now, because this sounds really greedy and selfish, but if I just had like an MTG Lion style Patreon where it's like I break even or lose money on it every month, but it's just for the fans, if I had the money to do that, I absolutely would. And if I get the money to do that, I absolutely will. I mean, it'll be like, if you do the $10 level, I will send you like $9.95 worth of stuff, and I was going to say 5-cent postage. How the hell did that make sense in my head? But you get my drift. If it's a wash, that's cool. It's just, hey, people getting neat stuff, you know, whatever. I'd say Alpha Investment does the same, but I think we all know that's not true. So check that out. And finally, got to shout out my boy. I want to say he's from the Netherlands because I thought he was French, and then I think he said something different. Then I told him to go find Reversal and like tell him I said hi. Also, I'm 1/4 Dutch, so we're basically brothers. But you already know who I'm talking about. That's right, the Idiot Reviewer, coolest channel name ever. I'm so jealous. He just does cool, like, geeky toy unboxings, product reviews, that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, I mean, he's one of the better ones. Great camera, great mic, great personality. I mean, that's really all you need to do really cool unboxing reviews. And they seem to be accurate to me, although it's not really my scene. But I'm like, yeah, like, he keeps it real. You know, he's not just shilling for these companies. If it's bad, he'll say it's bad. And he keeps it real. So check him out, link in the description. He's got some really cool video series. I'd get into it, but just, you know, scroll through his videos and be like, oh yeah, that's the kind of products I buy, or oh no, that's not the kind of products I buy. Either way, if you're interested, sub to him, he's awesome. Otherwise, don't. Also, he's getting kicked in the nuts almost as hard as I am by the demonetization and the restructuring of the AI and the suggested engine and just all this crap. So honestly, he needs the support. At least just go like watch one of his videos just to give him some damn views. Plus, he's just a cool person. He is so super nice. I absolutely love him. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next Conspiracy Theory.